A warm welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. Bilt Hamber have a new product. It's called Fat Noot. What is it? Have a look at this.
Introducing Fat Noot, a pH-neutral, multi-mode, rinseless wash that incorporates new lift mode and dry-on technologies. Fat Noot is so safe for the user and surfaces that the bottle requires no hazard pictograms or hazard statements. In comparison, 5 renowned international competitors all have hazard statements and warnings that range from eye irritation to serious eye damage. Amazingly, whilst being safer than each of these competitors, Fat Noot will clean genuine road film more effectively than any rinseless wash and even highly caustic, corrosive traffic film removers. Traffic film is built through complex chemistry and physical interactions that cannot be replicated by dirt film simulators. This Mercedes hasn't been cleaned during the 2-year Fat Noot development program. Fat Noot and the 5 competing rinseless washes, plus a highly caustic German TFR are compared. First, Fat Noot is applied to the dirt film with a trigger spray, directed through a clear masking tube. Its superior wetting is observed through the spread of the applied product. Lift mode is instantly engaged and begins lifting the negatively charged dirt particles from the paint film while simultaneously encapsulating. Allowing the applied product to dry onto the surface boosts the cleaning effect in a process known as dry-on. The 5 remaining rinseless washes and the caustic German traffic film remover are applied in a similar manner, but with a dwell time of 5 to 7 minutes. None match Fat Noot's wetting power, and this is confirmed in goniometer surface tension comparisons. After a low-pressure rinse and drying, a visible assessment shows Fat Noot's proprietary pH-neutral technologies defeat the traffic film's molecular interactions, resulting in cleaning power that surpasses even the highly caustic German product. Lift mode, applied here, is allowed to dwell for 3 minutes and then rinsed and compared to full dry-on to the right. In either mode, Fat Noot surpasses the cleaning power of any type of neutral cleaning product. It should be noted that Fat Noot is a low-foam product. While some manufacturers use surfactant-rich formulations, others use flocculating agents. Both are described as encapsulating. Bilt Hamber investigated both approaches during development work. As simplified here, flocculation is not encapsulation. This can be seen in action with a Bilt Hamber prototype formulation to the left and a well-known American rinseless wash. Both flocculating agents cause the injected clay dirt particles to rapidly agglomerate. The densified particles drop quickly as the liquid slows in movement. The large particles sink from suspension. This may occur in a bucket or on the paint surface itself. We considered this the opposite of what is needed for safe, rinseless washing. As already demonstrated, Fat Noot has vastly superior wetting power than competing rinseless washes. This enables it to penetrate the dirt film, concentrate at the dirt-to-paint interface, and lift the dirt. This protects the paint from abrasion by dirt particles being moved with a sponge or wash mitt. What is not desirable is for dirt particles to be dragged across a highly finished car surface. The superior suspension and encapsulation power of Fat Noot is shown in this demonstration, where dirt particles are physically separated by lift mode and prevented from forming abrasive agglomerations. Even after 12 hours, Fat Noot keeps the particles apart with dramatically more efficacy than the competing rinseless washes. The more effectively particles are lifted away from that surface and cushioned to prevent abrasion, the more effective a rinseless wash can be. Dirt release from wash media, such as sponges or wash mitts, is equally important, so that the dirt particles removed from the surface are able to be released into a bucket where they are held in safe suspension. Fat Noot's powerful lift mode function dramatically enhances the release of dirt from wash media. Seen here in action, Cotton test strips are submerged in each rinseless wash and squeezed to damp using a set weight and 2 absorbent paper discs, just like wringing out a sponge during use. A 10% clay solution is dropped onto the cotton swatch, which is then suspended in the moving product to emulate rinsing. After equal rinsing time, the degree of dirt release can be compared. Fat Noot, on the left, significantly outperforms the competition. Bilt Hamber, better by science.
Interesting. Okay, well, first of all, let's just go through a few of the basics, guys. The price. This product's going to cost £16.95 for the 1 litre offering. It will be available later on in 5 litre offerings, but the time it launches, it will be the 1 litre. That would put the product roughly second out of 11 market-leading rinseless washes that I compared. So it's well priced at £16.95 per litre. The next thing to understand is this multi-mode rinseless. It's called multi-mode because it performs different cleaning functions, and there's 3 main functions. First of all, there is a pre-wash function where you use this at a slightly higher ratio in a snow foam lance or pump sprayer and apply it to your car, allow it to dwell, and even indeed allow the product to dry in this dry on mode, which we'll come back to later on, and then pressure rinse the product off, and the push from the pressure washer will help remove some more dirt. It can be rinsed at a low pressure, but the pressure washer always helps when you're using a product as a pre-wash. So that's its first function. The second function is a standard rinseless wash function where you would mix this out in a wash bucket at around 1 to 250. There's a variation in ratio. You can go a bit stronger if you want to. And then you wash your car, contact clean it with traditional wash media, wash mitts, sponge, whatever you want to use, to contact clean it and then dry the car off with a drying towel. So if you're in drought conditions where you're not allowed to use your hose pipe to rinse off that car, you could use that contact wash method with just the bucket and the solution mixed with water to wash your car in kind of water restricted areas, which is an important function of rinseless wash. The third mode is what I call ad hoc cleaning. So you could have some of this mixed up at the ad hoc cleaning ratio around 1 to 200. And use it to wipe some dust on your car. If you get a bit of bird poo on your car or bugs and stuff, you can spray this on and contact it off. So perhaps more like a waterless wash in a trigger where you're not mixing it out in a bucket and using it. So the ad hoc spray and wipe cleaning. This can also be used to clean alloy wheels on your car as well, and it can be used as a clay lubricant. So that's what the product is, how much it costs, and the different functions. So the first thing I wanted to test out, guys, is the cleaning power. So if you're new to Bilt Hamber as a brand, they are known for having car cleaning chemicals which are very powerful and very effective. Take Traceless, their glass cleaner. Take Touchless, their pre-wash product. Take Corosol, their fallout remover. Take Surfex HD. They're all known for being powerful without using caustic materials. So typically within the industry, the caustic materials are more used in the trade for cars that are very, very dirty. And then more with consumer lines, you have very mild chemicals that are suitable for cars which are very well maintained and regularly maintained. And if you go and use caustic materials regularly, then they can start to degrade surfaces. So it's finding that right balance. And I think Bilt Hamber's speciality is giving you that cleaning power of caustic materials, but without using the caustic stuff, so that it's repeatable. And by being very powerful, it makes cleaning your car easier because the chemical is doing more work for you. The less work the chemical does, the more dirt you miss and leave on the car with whatever function you're performing. So what I'm looking for from Fat Noot is to be able to demonstrate this particular cleaning power. So we applied this product at its pre-wash ratio somewhere in the middle, 1 to 33, which is roughly between 2 to 4% PIR, somewhere in the middle. Hang in there, John, with the maths, hang in there. And then I compared that to a caustic pre-wash, another rinseless wash, and a pH neutral pre-wash. And I've shot another separate video on that, and you can watch me do all of the testing on that. I've also compared in that video Fat Noot with the dry on mode, so you let the product dry where you should experience increased cleaning when it dries, which is something I've never heard of, versus its wet mode where it's just allowed to dwell for a few minutes and then you rinse off wet. So all the products were applied. Dry mode was activated, or it was left to dry in one spot. The rest of them were applied and rinsed off at low pressure. Before doing that test, I'd have probably expected the caustic pre-wash to have removed the most under low pressure rinse. The winner, and by a considerable amount, was the Fat Noot with dry mode engaged. That nearly got this very dirty glass clean down to the glass with just a little bit of dirt left. There was a noticeable improvement between dry mode and wet mode. Wet mode was second, but there was more film left behind. After that, the caustic was third, and then I couldn't really tell the difference between the pH neutral pre-wash and the other rinseless wash. So the cleaning power of Fat Noot seems very, very impressive. As well as that particular test, I've been using this now, and I'm nearly all the way through this bottle. Every time I've used it, the thing that I notice with this is the cleaning power is phenomenal. And it's phenomenal considering that it's pH neutral. Historically, whenever you use something that's pH neutral, the cleaning power seems to be compromised to the point where you're really reliant on the contact to do all the work. And that's been my biggest gripe with kind of, rinselesses up till now, is that if you don't get everywhere and in every nook and cranny, you don't get all of the dirt out. So I've always found them more suitable for light cleaning. This may be the first rinseless that I've used that's actually viable and in fact very good at heavy cleaning. That may be its number one niche. So next up, I want to talk about what Fat Noot isn't, okay? And by understanding the chemical function of all of these car cleaning products, you can use them better and know when to use them, know what they're going to be good at, and know what they're not going to be good at. So first of all, Fat Noot is not a degreaser. So it's not a powerful emulsifier. It's not a replacement for Surfex HD. Surfex HD will do a better job on grease and grime and engine bays and all that sort of stuff. Fat Noot is not a fabric cleaner. It's not an interior cleaner. It's designed to clean the exterior of your car, okay? So it doesn't replace all-purpose cleaner and Surfex HD. Fat Noot is not a fallout remover. It can't dissolve rust. It's not going to, turn purple or anything like that. It's not a decontamination product in that sense. It's not a tar and glue remover. A hydrocarbon will break down films of tar on your car. It's also not a quick detailer. It doesn't replace Bilt Hamber Auto Quick QD, Auto Quick D. It's a pure cleaning product. It doesn't leave any protection on the car, any drying aid, any of that sort of stuff. It doesn't leave any glossing agents or slickening agents or any material. It's a pure cleaner. Indeed, when you use this and you're drying the material off of the car after you've washed it, you can use Bilt Hamber QD as a drying aid. So it's a pure cleaner product. It's not a glass cleaner as well. So if you've used Bilt Hamber Traceless, that has a unique chemistry to it for cleaning glasses. This is different. What this does is it attacks or cleans road film on the car, and I think it does it again by breaking down the charge of all of that stuff and just kind of having that dirt melting effect on road film on the car, and it's designed to lift it and encapsulate it and take it off of the paintwork. So by understanding what it's for and what it isn't for, you can use it better. So it's a rinseless wash for cleaning the exterior of your car with the multi-mode functions. One other interesting point, guys, this product has no hazardous chemicals in it that require the generation of those red boxes and various symbols like glasses and exclamation marks and the corrosive one and all that. And I've never seen that before on a rinseless product. You know, there's a leaning with these products to being eco-friendly and environmentally friendly. So I see that as a feather in the cap. Overall, Fat Noot is a very interesting rinseless wash. It's the first one I've seen that functions well, I mean ridiculously well, with the dry on engaged as a pre-wash. That was always a criticism of mine with rinseless washes, that they were not very good as pre-washes, and therefore there was a reliance on you and your technique to get every bit off the dirt of the dirt off of the car with contact, which can sometimes be really difficult where all the dirt gets into the nooks and crannies, and it's very easy to miss a bit if you're reliant on contact. So having the capability there for this to be a viable pre-wash and using the pressure washer, because it flushes all those nooks and crannies out with the pressure washer, so you get a good level of cleaning before you go in and doing the contact cleaning, is something that is unique, and it makes it ask the question that maybe this is a viable product to use as the pre-wash and then go on to use as the contact wash. So it's more of a one-stop solution. Will it replace auto wash for me? It could do. If you followed the channel, I've been using, I like to use one chemical, and I use touchless and then put touchless back on and contact wash with touchless, because that seemed to work fine. So it's unlikely it's going to replace touchless for me, because in the winter that stuff is so effective on that heavy road film. But who knows when winter comes around, I'll be doing more testing on that to compare it. But it may well be a good alternative to contact wash shampoo. The fact is, it's probably going to be able to do both, and it has an advantage over surfactants, you know, or detergents that traditionally you don't want to dry. That's its main advantage. And that is really interesting to me, that you can forget about the product drying, especially this time of year. You know, if someone comes and talks to me when I'm washing a car and I've got soap on it, I'm kind of looking at it while I'm talking to them. I'm thinking, I've got to tell them, I've got to rinse this off. With this product, the fact you let it dry and it gives you more cleaning power is really, really interesting. Yes, in summer, you don't always need loads of cleaning power, so it might be the case that putting it on as a pre-wash and just keeping it wet, letting it dwell for a few minutes and then pressure rinsing it off is going to be completely sufficient and actually really good. But it's just having that option there that if you want more cleaning power, you leave it to dry. I find really, really interesting, especially because of the nature of rinseless washes being used in you know, dry, water restricted areas. The other thing that is outstanding from this product is the cleaning power from pH neutral. So typically with detailing products that are traditional surfactants, as you veer into alkalinity, you get the ability to emulsify things a bit more. Saponification, the alkaline with oil occurs with alkalines. So products with a slight alkaline leaning tend to have more cleaning power. But typically, it's the addition of caustic materials which give products lots of punch, and that's why they're used in trades and on commercial vehicles. But at home, maintaining your vehicles, you don't want to be using caustic materials week in, week out, as we may have mentioned before. Bilt Hamber's niche, or their speciality, is being able to provide strong cleaning chemicals that are usable all the time, you know, with no condition. And Fat Noot seems to fill that criteria. It's going to clean like no other rinseless is cleaned, and it's going to give pre-washes It's going to out clean most pre-washers in my opinion from what I've seen, and it may even compete with touchless, and I'm really interested to see if it can. But it certainly has some advantages in the hot periods where you can allow it to dry. So very interesting. Chemically, it's different to anything I've seen before. Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to using it more, and it may be the first rinseless that I'm going to actually go and buy 5 litres of and decant it in the jerry cans and use it, really use it. So there's going to be loads more content to come on this, guys. I've been shooting loads of videos trying to look at this and compare it and shoot them live and give you a feel for what I'm doing, but I'm also planning on using this throughout the whole of summer and learning more about it. The product has been sent to me free of charge by Bilt Hamber, but this isn't a sponsored video. They're not paying me to tell you about this product. I just have an interest in this brand. They're one of the best out there for me. I've covered every reason why. If you follow the channel, they're very well regarded. They are experts in all of these chemicals and surfactants and all of this kind of stuff. It's very rare that you can see the difference in these types of products, you know, especially pH neutral cleaning products. A lot of times it wouldn't matter what one you use because the cleaning power is low. This is the first pH neutral product that has ridiculous amounts of cleaning power. To be able to potentially outmatch and out clean caustic pre-washes at pH neutral is ridiculous. This product also doesn't mask, and because it's pH neutral, it's going to be LSP friendly and all that sort of stuff. So there you have it, guys. Fat Noot. I got a feeling this product is going to dominate the rinseless market. It really is. For all the reasons I've said, all the uniqueness about it, the approach to the development of the product, but actually a rinseless which is going to clean and help you clean the car and help your results rather than make the results dependent on how well you go and poke and prod everything. I like that.
Holding on to what I knew, but the moment's gone. Where was I?